nameless. He was just so resilient. He could bounce back and everything's fine and everything, and just trick you. It was like Charlie Brown with that and Lucy in that football. He could trick me every day. Nobody can trick me. He could trick me, and they're so resilient. Yep, there's no resilience. It's but the families suffer. They either turn a blind eye and go through denial to survive it, and then you have a negative outcome, or they suffer through it and have a negative outcome. But, I don't know. I don't know what this.
Well, what ends up happening, and also if somebody, best case scenario, gets into recovery, ultimately the guilt and shame over the pain that has been caused to the family as a result of what was the addictive behavior is something that is traumatic and has to be dealt with.
So once they come down from the high and come back to reality.
Well, not that day. If you get sober, in other words, and even sometimes, like, people come down and they call it, a foxhole prayer. You're now clean and sober, and you feel or you wake up from a horrible evening, and you say, you know what, God, just get me through this day, and I will never do this again. Same to the family, mom, dad. I know last night was a really bad night, but I'm not. This is my last time. And it's not that the person isn't being genuine or wanting that to happen. They're just literally powerless over going back and doing it again the next day. It is literally insanity by definition of Albert Einstein. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. That's what this looks like.
Right. Shouldn't there be like a Better Business Bureau type reporting thing that, this center is bogus and this one is great?
Well, this is what we're hoping. I mean, this is one of the things that we wanted to do with the Bridge Foundation. And so if somebody calls me, and I'm only one person, right? But if somebody calls me, and I get calls all the time from parents or somebody who tells me, sees us on the web or whatever. And that's why I like to do it myself. I don't know, how we would train others to do it. And there are people that can be trained to do it, but I use my personal knowledge and information. And I also use connections of others that have had experience with certain things that may apply and say, oh, okay, you have somebody who is addicted to this particular drug of choice. You're in this demographic. I think that they would identify with somebody else that I know that's in recovery in that same demographic with that same drug. Let's talk to what's worked for them. Maybe they can reach out to you as well and help you. And so it's like attracts like. I don't have the answers, but I try to put people in touch with others that do that are surviving
You try to
this
point them
with the
these.
same basic characteristics of the person that needs help.
And that's the real value, is having people that are connectors and people that have people. And I resolved myself after going back and forth and trying to define the Bridge Foundation and what happened there. If I had to recreate it in a bottle, somebody said, let's do a series about how would you do it. It cost too much money. You couldn't recreate the magic.
Oh my gosh,
but
never.
I thought about it and I thought, while I can't quite define what happened, I can't explain it. I can't even repeat most of it. But I think that we were like boosters for a rocket, and it was our job to get you out of the atmosphere. And I think that was it. And that was our job. Our job wasn't to necessarily make the final journey. And I think a lot of times we're boosters to get something to the next stage.
Very interesting. Yeah.
And I've been over that in my head many a day. It's like, because I would leave there, and I've never had a job where so many times in a day I just go, what the heck happened today? What the heck just happened?
But I tell you, and it can't be defined. There's no question it cannot be defined. But I know intuitively we've helped at least one person through that effort. I know we have. So, I mean, not just people that have said it, but there's an energy that was created and continues to exist in the stepping up and just wanting to make the biggest difference that we possibly can to change something that is a horrific scourge on what is our society and our children. So, we laughed because we were dealing with the most painful, horrific set of circumstances. And then we would, thank goodness, have the comic relief that we needed. Otherwise, we couldn't come in.
Yeah, and it was when you play hard, you laugh hard.
Well, that's right. That's right. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank God. And so I guess we're almost at. You can just cut it there. Whatever.
Yeah, I can cut it.
And I just want to say
almost an entire another show.
Another show. You want to just do another show, or I don't know.
I don't know. Do you have time for another show?
Well, we've got 50 minutes. We'll just go for an hour, and then you edit it however you see fit. If you want to do if you want to split it to another episode, or whatever.
Well, I'll cut this now,